Hey beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about one of Big Hit's trainees, Leo, who went under fire for misogynistic lyrics where he was at a rap competition. So first of all, people took issue with the fact that he was referring to women in very derogatory terms, which were big and low. Second of all, people took issue because of how violent the lyrics were. For context, Leo is at a rap competition, and he does a cover of Playboy Cardi's Stop Breathing. He uses the same exact instrumental, but he changes the lyrics up. So in Playboy's Cardi version, he's like, I take my shirt off and all these girls stop breathing. So they're like, he's so hot, these girls are swooning over him, and they're, you know, when you see something hot, you're like, so like you're stop breathing because over the hotness, right? It's very innocent. But in Leo's case, he changes the lyrics up. So for example, F that girl in my bank, yeah, that ass stopped breathing. So he's talking about doing something to a woman and she stopped breathing, and people saw this as very violent and aggressive. As well, in one of his other songs, he at this competition, he makes a comparison to slavery, which other people thought was insensitive. So in general, the main issue was that these lyrics are quite violent and they're just very insensitive. Those of you who actually want to do your own research and come up with your own conclusion, I actually put a link in my description of the vlog, and it actually has English subtitles. And one key takeaway from this vlog was the fact that Leo wrote these lyrics when he was angry. And that's actually another reason why people were uncomfortable. It's like, is Leo naturally like this when he's angry? Other things you should know about Leo is he's from Australia and he came to Korea at 17 years old, and right now he's 19. I also really want to make this clear. I actually don't know much about Leo before this incident. I'm not a fan of him, so because I think my thoughts and my opinions on this issue lean more on the lenient side, and I don't want you guys to think I'm saying this because I'm biased towards him and I'm like those armies who are like shooters and pick-me girls for like hype boys. No, if these opinions come out on more of the lenient side, it's more so I'm speaking from my experience as someone who consumes, you know, Western media, and also just as someone who is friends with a lot of guys who did grow up to be misogynistic and then realize that those types of behaviors are problematic. So I really want to make this clear that that is why I'm speaking like this. So before people are like, what's the big deal with these lyrics? Western rappers write the same thing. Okay, so let's say you moved into a town and someone punches you in the face, right? And you, I don't know, you broke your nose and you're complaining it to your neighbor how you were hurt and you can't believe someone did that. And someone said, so what? Everyone in this town punches everyone in the face. What's the big deal? How would you feel, right? You would feel so mad that, first of all, you got so hurt, but no one is taking your hurt and pain seriously. And second of all, you were probably so mad the fact that no one's recognizing that this is a problem. Even if it's normalized, no one should be punching each other in the face. And that's the same exact problem when you guys try to deflect this issue by saying Western rappers do the same thing. No, misogyny is a huge problem in hip-hop. It's something that's unfortunately very normalized, and it's something that we have to tackle. Unfortunately, with how male dominated the genre is, it's going to take a long time for us to resolve misogyny, but we still have to call out rappers who use derogatory language when referring to women. We still gotta call out the issue of how a lot of rappers think it's a standard practice to objectify women in their music videos, and that's the thing is. And you know, us calling Leo out for his misogynistic is a great for his misogynistic lyrics is a great way for us to tackle this issue by hand. Perhaps it can start a movement in K-hip-hop where artists start to reflect on how they refer to women in their lyrics, and this can transcend to another movement in rap in general. Just because it's normalized in hip-hop doesn't mean what Leo wrote was acceptable. Okay, if you're 10% better than garbage, are you a good product? No. So in general, we have to hold both parties accountable, and hip-hop artists just need to know you don't need to degrade women and also write violent lyrics about them just to make good rap music. Big Hit's apology, I'm just gonna give it like a 2 out of 10. I'm gonna be really honest with you guys. So back in 2016, BTS went under fire for having misogynistic lyrics, which were evident in their song War of Hormones and RM's solo song Joke, and Big Hit issued out this lengthy apology. So here's the thing. I noticed in general, idols' YouTube accounts tend to be really monitored by their company. I feel like a lot of companies look through their videos prior to posting it to make sure it's acceptable, right? And I feel like when you're a trainee, trainees are not very, I guess, mature in their thinking. So I would expect a company to be very monitoring, like when they're looking through their trainees like content before they post. So my big issue is, how come no one at like this Leo's production thing think to themselves, hey, I'm pretty sure these lyrics probably going to hurt and offend someone. So I feel like this just speaks more on Big Hit's character. They just have not really learned at all from their past mistakes. I mean, it could be a different management team. It could be a different production team from their 2016 one. So let's give them a benefit of the doubt. But yeah, I just don't really expect much from Big Hit because it's like, what do I expect most from a company? In terms of Leo's apology, I give it an 8 out of 10. He takes ownership for his actions. He doesn't use the whole BS of, if you're offended, he's like, no, I did offended you and I'm like sorry for that. And when he says, I'm feeling extremely embarrassed and ashamed of my performance, I think that shows remorsefulness. When you mention an emotion and a feeling, that shows how you feel about this action, right? And it shows to us that he does feel bad what he's done. I read apologies where people would just be like, I lost control what I was thinking. I'm sorry that who I heard it, right? But when you mention like how you feel in regards to issues, I think it shows more genuinity. My only issue with this whole apology is that I just wish they actually mentioned the issue at hand, which is misogyny. I feel that would make it more specific and less vague like. But I think this is a pretty good apology. It sounds very sincere and sounds very genuine. So I'm going to talk about the apology in the lenses of the issues that I outlined earlier, which was him using the derogatory language towards women and the violent manner in the lyrics. So first of all, I'm going to be really honest with you guys. I don't blame him for using bitch and in music. So hear me out. So typically you have various social agents, and social agents are parties that influence your values, your beliefs, and the way of thinking. So common ones is your education, your family, your friends, and oftentimes the media. And the problem with hip-hop is that it over-glorifies misogyny and normalizes it. How often do you see rappers talk about, their significant others or just women in general as and their hoe? How often do you see rappers objectify women in their music videos? Even though we do tell people at such a young age that men and women are equal, we gotta respect women, you're also getting those views contradicted by the media you consume. And this media, which is hip-hop, is constantly telling you it's totally fine for you to call women as your it's totally fine to objectify and degrade women, right? In fact, it's seen as a good thing. So that's why I kind of understand why Leo thought that it was fine to use that types of language. He was, getting influenced by his rappers. He wants to model himself based on his rappers he like. And, he got influenced by the media. And you know what? I do see guys my age constantly referring to their significant others as their big. It's problematic, but I just don't blame them with the current state of the media. I think personally for me, the best apology is changed behavior. How does Leo approach this issue in the future on? Is he going to continue making all misogynistic jokes and lyrics, or is he going to pull a Namjoon? So Namjoon in the past has been criticized for making misogynistic lyrics. One of them is his solo song joke where he basically compared a woman to an STI. However, Namjoon revealed that back in like around 2015, 2016, when this whole controversy arose, he actually went to a gender studies professor just to review his lyrics. And to me, that was better than saying sorry. To him, that shows us how genuine and sincere Namjoon's character was. He felt so bad that he hurt so many fans with his lyrics. He felt so bad that he had those types of thoughts, and he felt so remorseful that he wanted to correct this type of behavior and view he had so he doesn't do it in the future. And that was by, seeking external help. And I hope Leo takes on a similar approach. I hope he actually educates himself in misogyny. I hope he does speak on misogyny in the future. And I truly believe he does deserve a second chance in that regard. That being said, I am a little bit uncomfortable with Leo. It's just, in general, it's common sense not to be violent towards people. And even in hip-hop, whenever a rapper talks about women in a violent manner, like maybe SA, right? They're always going to receive criticism. So I just find it hard to believe Leo did not think to himself, hey, I should not be writing this manner. Even though he said, oh, I was feeling really angry that day, that's not acceptable. When you're angry, it's not good for your first tendency is to be violent. You need to handle your anger in a more constructive and healthy manner. And I also think this does not look good on Big Hit in a business standpoint to have a trainee who wrote like violent lyrics. So they really need to give Leo proper some sort of mental health support. I'm not diagnosing Leo, but I just feel like it's not good for him to have these types of thoughts all the time. That being said, I never really know anyone who grew up with bad anger issues tend to be violent and see if they actually learn and actually change from behavior. Have you guys heard? I learned a lot from my commenters. So if you know someone in your life who probably acts like Leo and they have actually changed, let me know in the comments. I feel like I learned a lot from you guys, just like how you learned a lot from me. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I know I haven't made a lot of videos in a while, but I'm actually going to have a proper schedule in 2022. So if you want more K-pop commentary, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.